Over the past few years, we've been messing around with numerous different types of smart doorbell. Those from the likes of Ring, which I've got on my parents' house, and those from the likes of Nest, which I actually rock on mine. Expensive to say the least. We did some shopping on Amazon. This is the cheapest smart doorbell we could find with good reviews. So let's see if it's any good. So the main thing that I want is to be able to have two-way communication with whoever's at the door, wherever I am in the world. And something else that would be really, really nice would be for it to act as a security camera for me, so it can record what's going on when I'm not there and I can watch back that footage. And if you think about it, most of these really expensive doorbells, like I've mentioned from Ring and Nest, they will charge you a monthly subscription to record things. Doesn't quite look as premium as ones from the like of Nest and Ring and some other vendors, but you've got to bear in mind the price here. I assume some night vision sensors around here and then a little motion sensor up the top. These motion sensors are really good for saving battery. So it means that the motion sensor, which is low powered, can detect movement, and then as soon as the movement is detected, it can then fire up other systems like the camera, for example. It's how these things can have batteries in them and last for so long. Really nice to see that they've included, I think these are called NCR batteries. You can't buy these from the run-of-the-mill shop, but you can pick them up online from places like Amazon. Again, really, really nice to see. With companies like Ring and the more expensive doorbells, they make proprietary batteries which come with a price tag attached. And like I mentioned earlier, they try and rope you into these monthly costs. I'm hoping we don't have any of that with this. Nice to see these batteries. Okay, so I've downloaded the app from the App Store and got this thing set up connected to my Wi-Fi straight away after I put the batteries in this. The little ring was flashing red, indicating that it needed to be set up. Now, I've set up other doorbells before, and I don't remember them being difficult, but this one was super, super easy. It literally asked me to connect to its Wi-Fi network that it made, then connect it to my Wi-Fi network, 2.4 gigahertz only, put in the password, it connected, and then I was displayed with this video feed that you can see and hear right
hopefully you can get a gauge also of the audio quality. What we're going to go ahead and do now is use the included sticky mount. Go mount this on my front door so we can see what it looks like. Obviously, I'm well lit in here, etc., etc. We need to put this in some real world places so I can see who's at the front door.
Okay, so I've been using this little doorbell from Amazon on my front door for the past 2.5 days. And I'm gonna show you guys what I think of it. I've been digging through the menus, and I'm also gonna compare it to my much more expensive Nest doorbell, which has been mounted out there since as long as I can remember. But before we go ahead and do that, we need to thank today's sponsor, Surfshark. So if you're somebody that spends a large amount of your time online, it's probably a good idea to use a VPN just simply to protect your privacy. So Surfshark actually send all of your data through their secure VPN tunnels so you can't be tracked and traced online. And now, because with Surfshark all of your data is encrypted, you can make yourself sort of a little bit immune to targeted advertisements. So have you ever been talking about something or been looking at something online and then all of the ads that you get are for that product, and it's a kind of a little bit invasive and you feel like you're being spied on? Use a VPN and mitigate all of that. One more thing as well is if you're wanting to do video streaming, like watch some Netflix, for example, and the show that you want to watch is available, let's say, in Netflix US, but you're in England. You can go ahead and connect to a Netflix US server by using a Surfshark US server, and it'll think you're in the US and give you the whole US catalog of shows. So if that does sound interesting to you guys, and because you're watching this video, you want to get yourself a cheeky little percentage off, you guys can go to surfshark.deals/TechFlow and enter promo code TechFlow for 85% off and for 3 extra months free. Thanks Surfshark for sponsoring this video. Back to the doorbell. So as you can see, I wanted to take you guys through the app. You can see my phone right next to me. So if you've got numerous versions of this doorbell around the house, so let's say one on the front door and one on the back door, they will all display here. We've only got one, so we can click into it right now and we get displayed with a live feed of the actual doorbell, which is nice to see. You're then below that presented with a load of buttons, so you've got volume, playback, scene, full screen, and then you can go ahead and speak to whoever's at the front door or take a screenshot or record. Now, what's the actual recording capabilities of this camera? Whilst I had it, I noticed that it had a 16GB micro SD card in the back. That means this thing can do 24/7 round-the-clock recording internally to its SD card, which is really, really nice. So if you click on playback here, you can see that here is all of the footage that's been recorded today. We've got some answered calls and it tells you what was going on, whether motion was detected or it's a permanent video recording. Now, if you are going to be doing permanent recording on this bad boy, and I'm kind of really happy that it's included in a doorbell of this price range, you're definitely going to want to have the hardwired option, and all you need to do for that is feed this doorbell somewhere in the realm between 14 and 24 volts and you should be good to go. I've had mine running for about 3 days on the battery, and that's all you get when you're fully recording 24/7. Your other options are to go in the settings, click on the video length icon. As you can see, you've got no video recording, 15, 30, 45 or permanent video. Now what this is going to do is use that motion sensor on the front of the camera. When that detects motion, it will then start recording for the predetermined time like you can see on screen, or like I said, you can just have it permanent video round the clock. Really great feature set, not something I would have really expected to see on a doorbell of this price range, so I suppose that is great to see. A couple of bits that I wanted to mention as well. Included in the box are some security screws, so you go ahead and put those screws in the bottom, that way no one can come and take this doorbell off the door, but I haven't put them in just because I wanted to show you guys what's going on here. On the back, this is the battery door, so I'll put those 2 batteries in. Like I mentioned earlier, you can buy them on Amazon, so you could actually have 2 in charge whilst 2 are in here and then quickly swap them out. And you may be wondering what all of this mounting hardware is up here. Normally, if you had a wired doorbell and you were wiring this in via 24 volts, your doorbell wires would come out here, screw into here, and then these contacts talk to the contacts on the back of this doorbell, and then it just simply sits on there like that. So one major thing is being able to be notified about somebody being at your front door without actually clicking the doorbell. So what I'm going to do is overlay my phone screen right now. I'm walking around, opening my front gate, and you can see, we've got 2 doorbells here. We're going to see which notification comes in first from either the Nest or our cheap doorbell. Nothing yet from either. Ah, the test bell. That's absolutely mental. Nothing from the Nest at all. Okay, so the next test that we want to do is how quick the push notifications come through once the doorbell is pressed. So we're going to start out with the Nest. Jed, ring in 3, 2, 1. Doorbell has been rang. Notification now. And then now our cheap doorbell in 3, 2, 1. There we go. So a little bit later on the cheaper doorbell, but maybe that's the price you're paying for. Now, a few other things that we just like to point out is that, and I think this is where you're actually saving yourself the money, the main problems with this doorbell are with its hardware, in the way that it looks, how big it is, and the fact it takes a little while to react once it's pressed. Like, I've pressed that and then you get the chime. Whereas with this one, the Nest, you click it and you get the noise straight away. Obviously, looks are a subjective thing, and if you want a nicer looking doorbell, you're gonna have to spend the bucks to get a nicer looking doorbell. But the thing is built well. I feel like it would last if it was on the front of your house for years to come. I like the fact that it can be powered via an actual power source or batteries, which is why it has this motion sensor on the top. But now the last thing that we need to check out is the two-way audio. You need to be able to talk to the people that are at the front door. And what better way to do that than compare this to the Nest leading standard doorbell. Let's go do that now.
Hello, my name is Alex, and you hear me out of the doorbell.
This is the more expensive Nest doorbell. Is there any difference? Let us know in the comments. So, with all of the main features that you would want to find in a smart video doorbell tested in this video, Alex, what do you think? Well, I think it's pretty good. For the actual money that you're spending on it, the fact that you're getting an option to have 24/7 round-the-clock recording, you're getting push notifications even when it detects motion and when somebody rings the doorbell. It even comes with this cool little chime as well, which kills two birds with one stone, because essentially if you don't have a ringer already installed in your house, this will then act upon that, and it's wireless and you just plug it in. Obviously, with the cheaper option, you're getting a little bit worse video quality than the Nest doorbell or other more expensive ones. And as you heard, the audio quality on the two-way comms is much better on the Nest. That's because, again, you're paying a premium for that. But that's not to say that the cheap doorbell doesn't sound good and doesn't get the job done. In my eyes, all you're using one of these doorbells for is to talk to the postman and tell him to leave your parcels at the door because you're not in the house. And this, well, for £60, it definitely does that. We'll put all those links down in the description, guys. We hope you've enjoyed this little first test of the cheap doorbell. But for now, my name's been Alex, this has been TechFlow, and we'll see you in the next one.